Hello everyone. Today's topic is tuberculosis. In this video, I am going to inform you on the disease tuberculosis. We will talk about etiology of disease, manifestations of disease, preventive cares, what should be taken, treatment of disease, etc. So let's start. Learning outcomes of today's topic. After completion of this topic, learners will be able to state etiology of tuberculosis, explain pathophysiology of disease, classify tuberculosis, mention symptoms of tuberculosis, implement practice for prevention of disease, apply treatment for disease. So, tuberculosis, known as the white plague during the 19th century and has conflicted the human race ever since. Tuberculosis is a potentially serious infectious disease that mainly affects lungs. The bacteria that cause tuberculosis are spread from one person to another through tiny droplets released into the air via coughs and sneezes. A type of bacteria is called as Mycobacterium tuberculosis. These are very small, aerobic, non-motile bacillus. Tuberculosis can also affect other parts of body, including kidneys, spine, brain. When TB occurs outside lungs, signs and symptoms vary according to the organs involved. For example, tuberculosis of the spine may give you back pain, and tuberculosis in your kidneys might cause blood in urine. Let's see what are the risk factors involved. Immunosuppression, chronic disease, malnutrition, geography, substances used. A healthy human system can often successfully fight TB bacteria, but your body can't mount an effective defense if your resistance is low. Diseases and medications can weaken your immune system, including HIV/AIDS, diabetes, chemotherapy, malnutrition, advanced age, immunosuppressive medications for people who live in or travel to countries that have high rates of tuberculosis. You could be more likely to get TB if a friend, co-worker, or family member has active tuberculosis. You live in or have traveled to an area where TB is common, like Russia, Africa, Eastern Europe, Asia, etc. You are part of group in which TB is more likely to spread, or you work or live with someone who is. This includes homeless people, people who have HIV, people in jail or prison, people who have inject drugs into their veins. You work or live in hospital or nursing home. You are a healthcare worker for patients at high risk of TB. You are a smoker. A healthy immune system fights the TB bacteria, but might not be able to fend off active TB disease. If the person have HIV or AIDS, diabetes, severe kidney disease, head and neck cancer, cancer treatment such as chemotherapy, low body weight, poor nutrition, medications for foreign organ transplantation, certain drugs used in the treatment of rheumatoid arthritis, Crohn's disease, and psoriasis. Babies and young children also have higher chances of getting it because their immune systems are not fully developed. Next point is mode of transmission of disease. Mycobacterium tuberculosis is carried in airborne particles called as droplet nuclei of 1 to 5 microns in diameter. Mycobacterium tuberculosis is transmitted through the air, not by surface contact. It's spread from person to person in tiny microscopic droplets. Depending on the environment, these tiny particles can remain suspended in the air for several hours. Mycobacterium tuberculosis may be expelled when an infectious person coughs, sneezes, speaks, sings, laughs. So in these conditions, these persons they contain the germs, and if you breathe these germs, you can get it. TB isn't easy to catch. You usually have to spend a long time around someone who has a lot of bacteria in their lungs. We are most likely to catch it from co-workers, friends, and family members. So in this way, WHO estimates the tuberculosis cases 6% of all deaths worldwide. It is found that HIV infected persons are prone to active tuberculosis. 8 to 10 million new cases and 3 million deaths per year occur worldwide. Tuberculosis germs don't thrive on surface. You can't get it from shaking hands with someone who has it or by sharing their food or drink. This is the classification of tuberculosis. Pulmonary tuberculosis and extrapulmonary tuberculosis. Pulmonary tuberculosis classified into primary tuberculosis, secondary tuberculosis. And extrapulmonary tuberculosis includes lymph node TB, pleural TB, TB of upper airways, skeletal TB, genitourinary TB, miliary tuberculosis, pericardial tuberculosis, gastrointestinal tuberculosis, tuberculous meningitis, less common forms. Next part is pathogenesis of tuberculosis infection. It occurs when a person inhales droplet nuclei containing tubercle bacilli that reach the alveoli of the lungs. These tubercle bacilli are ingested by alveolar macrophages. The majority of these bacilli are destroyed or inhibited. A small number may multiply intracellularly and are released when macrophages die. If alive, these bacilli may spread by way of lymphatic channels or through the bloodstream to more distant tissues and organs, including areas of the body in which tuberculosis disease is most likely to develop: regional lymph nodes, apex of lungs, kidney, brain, and bone. This process of dissemination primes the immune system for a systemic response. This is the pathophysiology of disease. Initial infection or primary infection. Entry of microorganism through droplet nuclei. Bacteria is transmitted to alveoli through airways. Deposition and multiplication of bacteria. Bacilli are also transported to other parts of the body through bloodstream and lymph node. And here is the cause of inflammation. Mycobacterium tuberculosis is slender, rod-shaped aerobic bacteria infected to the host by airborne contamination. It affects firstly the lungs. Due to its oxygen-rich environment, these bacilli will multiply and grow in the oxygen-rich lungs. As per the gravity of disease, increases pulmonary and extrapulmonary tuberculosis respectively. The tuberculosis consists of primary pulmonary tuberculosis, where the source of organism is exogenous. Secondary pulmonary tuberculosis. It is also called as reactive tuberculosis. It is an exogenous reinfection. It mainly found in the apex of one or more the upper lobes of lungs. Miliary tuberculosis. This is a lymphohematogenous type of disease which spread in later stages into the systemic organs and isolated organs such as liver, brain, kidney, lymph nodes, blood, bone cells, etc. Here are the symptoms of disease. Although your body may have the bacteria that cause tuberculosis, your immune system usually can prevent you from becoming sick. For this reason, doctors make a distinction between latent tuberculosis and active tuberculosis. There is a difference in latent tuberculosis and active tuberculosis. In latent tuberculosis, this is a condition where that person have a tuberculosis infection, but the bacteria remain in his body in an inactive state and cause no symptoms. Latent tuberculosis is also called as inactive tuberculosis or tuberculosis infection. It isn't contagious. It can turn into acute tuberculosis, so treatment is important for the person with latent tuberculosis. And to help control the spread of tuberculosis, an estimated 2 billion people have latent tuberculosis. Then what is active tuberculosis? This condition makes you sick and in most cases it can spread to others. It can occur in the first few weeks after infection with the tuberculosis bacteria, or it might occur years later. Then what are the signs and symptoms of active tuberculosis? Coughing that lasts 3 or more weeks, coughing up blood, chest pain, coughing up blood, chest pain, weight loss, fatigue, fever, night sweats, chills, loss of appetite. Complications of the disease. Without treatment, tuberculosis can be fatal. Untreated active disease typically affects your lungs, but it can spread to other parts of body through bloodstream. Examples of tuberculosis complications include spinal pain, back pain, that includes stiffness, joint damage, arthritis, swelling of the membranes that cover the brain that is called as meningitis, liver or kidney problems. Preventive measures. You can see in this picture BCG vaccination for newborn and children under the age of 15. Early diagnosis and treatment. Early contact examination. Lead happy life. Adequate rest. Balanced diet. Fresh air. Adequate exercise. Good personal hygiene. If you test positive for latent tuberculosis infection, your doctor may advise you to take medications to reduce your risk of developing active tuberculosis. The only type of tuberculosis that is contagious is the active variety when it affects the lungs. So, if you can prevent your latent tuberculosis from becoming active, you won't transmit tuberculosis to anyone else. Protect your family and friends. If you have active tuberculosis, keep your germs to yourself. It generally takes a few weeks of treatment with tuberculosis medications before you are not contagious anymore. Follow some steps. Stay home. Don't go to work or school or sleep in a room with other people during the first few weeks of treatment for active tuberculosis. Ventilate the room. Tuberculosis germs spread more easily in small closed spaces where air doesn't move. If it's not too cold outdoors, open the windows and use a fan to blow indoor air outside. Cover your mouth. Use a tissue to cover your mouth anytime when you laugh, sneeze, or cough. Put the dirty tissue in a bag, seal it, and throw it away. Wear a mask. Wearing a surgical mask when you are around other people during the first 3 weeks of treatment may help lessen the risk of transmission. Finish your entire course of medication. This is the most important step you can take to protect yourself and others from tuberculosis. When you stop treatment early or skip doses, tuberculosis bacteria have a chance to develop mutations that allow them to survive the most potent drugs. The resultant drug resistant strains are much more deadly and difficult to treat. Vaccination. In countries where tuberculosis is more common, infants often are vaccinated with Bacillus calmette urine, that is called as BCG vaccine, because it can prevent severe tuberculosis in children. Tuberculosis treatment. It refers to the medical treatment of the infectious disease tuberculosis. Active tuberculosis will kill about 2 of every 3 people affected if left untreated. Treated tuberculosis has a mortality rate of less than 5%. The standard short course treatment for tuberculosis is isoniazid, rifampicin, pyrazinamide, and ethambutol for 2 months, then isoniazid and rifampicin alone for a further 4 months. The patient is considered cured at 6 months. There are two common tests of tuberculosis. The first is skin test and the second one is blood test. Skin test is also known as Mountaug's tuberculin skin test. A technician injects a small amount of fluid into skin of your lower arm. After 2 to 3 days, they'll check for swelling in your arm. If your results are positive, you probably have TB bacteria, but you could also get a false positive if you are gotten a tuberculosis vaccine called as Bacillus calmette urine (BCG). The test could say that you have TB when you really don't. Second test is blood test. This test can also called as interferon gamma release assays (IGRAS). It measures the response when TB proteins are mixed with small amount of blood. Apart from that, chest X-ray, CT scan, acid pass bacillus test are useful.